Did they forget about him? Why was LR Dragonfist Super Saiyan 3 Goku left behind? And is he finally making a return with a game-changing EZA? Are they going to fumble it, or is there a goal to replace this card entirely because of his annoying kit that would be hard to build an EZA around? Well, first of all, let's look into why he was seemingly forgotten despite being one of the first LRs released in Dokkan Battle and having all of his LR buddies be EZA'd way before him. Golden Fist Super Saiyan 3 Goku was released on the 19th of December 2017 on the Japanese version of the game. He was met with a lot of excitement and immediately became the most sought after card. At the time, his passive was seen as quite strong, and the debuff seemed like a fair way to balance his immense power during a time where the hardest events were Super Battle Road and Boss Rush. His main issue at the time was actually getting enough ki to activate his Ultra Super Attack, since his link skills weren't exactly the best, to say the least. Fortunately, he at least had good defense when doing a regular super attack, meaning if he wasn't finishing off a boss with his immense damage, he was at least tanking an attack for you. But then, a terrible thing happened to Dragonfist Goku. Time started passing, and the power started creeping, and this meant even TURs were getting to a point where they had better kits and better damage without even needing a debuff. So as most cards do, he got aged out and was left in many people's boxes collecting dust until he would inevitably receive his EZA. But that never happened. Months and months passed without his EZA. All the other LRs of his time got their EZAs, but Goku was never touched. Months turned into years and Goku was slowly forgotten about. But why only leave him? It's not like it was impossible to bring him back. The more time that passed, the harder it would be to EZA him. So it started to seem like he would never be EZA, and the devs didn't want to even bother with him. But maybe that wasn't what was happening. Maybe it wasn't a matter of them forgetting or giving up. Maybe they were saving him for the right time to blow the dust off and put him back at the top of the Dokkan meta. And with the recent leaks about the New Year's Duel Dokkan Fest Harudagon and Dragonfist Goku, me and everyone else has got the feeling that this might be the time he makes his return. The phrase "it's now or never" has never been truer. Therefore, let's discuss what this EZA could look like going into 2024 and year 9 of Dokkan. Firstly, I'm going to give you the realistic expectation of how the devs will realistically do it based on the past, and then I'll do an ideal version that everyone would love. To do that, let's start by looking at what he currently does. So, firstly, his leader skill, super tech types, ki +3 in attack, defense, and HP 100%. And then extreme tech types, he has ki +3 and 70% to all stats, nothing too interesting there. Now, for super attack effects, his instant transmission Kamehameha, the 12 ki, causes colossal damage with a rare chance to stun the enemy, and then the ultra super attack, which causes mega colossal damage to an enemy and lowers defense. Altogether not too powerful or interesting, but definitely solid at the time. Now, for the actual interesting part, the passive. Defense plus 120% at the start of turn, and attack 180% and defense minus 70% when performing an ultra super attack. Interesting is a bit of a stretch, but when's the last time you've seen or used a card that takes away their own stats? Anyways, now for the fun part, let's get into how their EZA will most likely happen. And spoilers, it probably won't be good. I have a feeling that they're going to turn this guy into an SBR soldier and completely screw him over, but let's hold out hope that they actually make him good. For the sake of this video, I'll act like they do. Firstly, the leader skill will probably be nothing special. They'll just boost it so that he goes up to ki +3 and 120 to super types and ki +3 and 90% for extreme types. The super attack fortunately has hope to be great. I've seen them change what they do, and I think they will make the 12 ki raise attack and greatly raise defense for 3 turns while keeping the other abilities, and the ultra super attack will greatly raise attack and raise defense for 1 turn. And will keep the ability to lower defense. Now, for the passive, I believe they will just increase the stats like crazy and mostly keep the debuff thing the same, just lower or give this ultra super attack more value. For example, ki +5 and 120 to attack and defense, defense plus 150 at start of turn, and attack plus 250 when performing an ultra super attack, and defense minus 70% after performing ultra super attack. The main change is that he could still potentially tank before attacking, making him a slot 1 unit. Part of me wants to say they'd give him a guard and or damage reduction with the ability to gain double the ki per ki sphere, but I see that as unlikely. And if they did give him guard, it would have to be like high chance to guard all attacks with another 2 or more movie heroes on the team. Or it would have to be like damage reduction plus 10% per movie hero on rotation, something like that. But Even something like that is a bit unlikely. There's also room in there for them to give him built-in crit or additional. I think crit is more likely though. Now, I feel like that's not too bad at all. It's probably quite good actually. But now it's time to enter Fantasyland and build the dream card for the fans. I think the leader skill and super attacks would pretty much be the same, but except he stacks defense permanently on 12 key. The passive I would give him is key plus 3 attack and defense plus 150%. And then he changes random type orbs to tech type orbs for 5 turns from entry turn. Then he gains 5% damage reduction per tech orb up to 33%. Then defense plus 50% at the start of turn, and defense plus 150% as the first attacker. Then, as well, attack plus 70% or 77% when attacking as second or third attacker, and attack plus 200 when performing an ultra super attack, but defense minus 70% after the attack. High chance of additional attack with a high chance of becoming a super attack after performing an ultra super attack with 20 or more ki. Yes, I know that is OP as hell, but that would be a super fun card to use, and I think it would actually be quite solid against most of these events, making him like a top 10 easy ALR. But let me know, what do you guys think of my card versus what we are potentially going to get? And let me know what your ideas are in the comments. Maybe you've got a way better idea that you'd prefer for this card. Regardless, thank you so much for watching. Feel free to subscribe, and hopefully I can make you stick around.